welcome back to my channel. This is going to be a review video for the RealReal. So I have been selling on the RealReal for a few months now, and I did a beginner review and experience for the process to get started on selling. So I figured a few months in, I wanted to go ahead and do a checkpoint and let you guys know how things are going, show y'all some numbers, give you some realistic expectations, and then still kind of like a midway review because I am still selling on the RealReal and I plan on continuing this platform for at least a little while when I can find the items that they accept. So if this video is something that you're interested in or that you're kind of curious about what the RealReal is, definitely keep watching. So my name is Jennifer and I am a full-time online reseller. I do resell primarily clothing, but I will resell anything that I can find for a low price that I know would sell for a higher price and earn me a profit. But clothing is something that is extremely available to me. I find it everywhere. There's so many sources around me that I can get some really good items from. So I do get a little bit overwhelmed because clothing is a little bit harder of a sell sometimes. So it's a lot longer process, I think, as far as photographing listing. And sometimes it just gets a little overwhelming. So the RealReal is a great option for me for a few different reasons. So they are an online consignment store, but they're an online luxury brand consignment. So they are very specific and select in the items that they take. They have a list though, a very large list still, but a good detailed list of the brands that they accept. And then in some cases there will be restrictions for certain items within that brands, and they'll let you know that as well. So when I find these brands, when I come across them, if I'm not super excited about listing, if I have a lot of stuff already, if it's kind of hard to list, or maybe I've had it for a couple months and just haven't got around to listing it, these are items that I definitely want to send into the RealReal. However, I am going to try at the beginning of the year 2021, I'm going to try specifically sourcing for the RealReal. So I am going to get a lot more familiarized with the brands that they accept, because I think this is a very easy way to make some money. So very similar to maybe, Amazon, like Fulfilled by Amazon. If you purchase the items and then you box it all up, send it to Amazon, and they ship, sell, and everything for you. This is kind of like that, but of course the payout is not going to be as high. Most likely the payout is a little bit low, but for not doing any work but the fun stuff, which is sourcing the items, that can be a really good option for some of you out there, because it definitely is for me. Okay, so I'm going to start by giving just a little bit of a background. I did start selling basically right at the beginning of September. I started the process at the end of August, and I sent in a box, actually 2 boxes of items, like 2 days before September. So by the time they got there, I'm just saying I started selling in September. It did take about 3 weeks, close to a month, for the items to finally all be available, like photographed available for purchase with the pricings and all that. So probably I got 7 to 10 days worth of September for items to sell. But I did sell stuff in September. So almost as soon as some of these items were listed, they were selling, which was a very exciting time. Now I feel like I need to explain kind of how the payouts work first. So if I sold all of September, then my payout is not going to be until the following month, October. However, they do hold 2 weeks because they need to give all of the buyers time to return items if they want. So their return policy is 2 weeks return. So they do not do the payout until 2 weeks into the following month, which means all of the money that I've earned in September, I won't get sent until October 15th. So the 15th of every month is my actual payout month for the whole entire month prior. So that does get like a little confusing, and I just wanted to make sure to explain that first, because when I talk about these numbers, I'm going to be talking about that month. However, I'm being paid the following month. For example, September, my first month, which technically was only about a week and a half, 2 weeks at the most. I did sell 7 items, and those earned me a total of $174. So I got that $174 paid out to me the following month on the 15th. So that was great. I thought for only a week and a half, 2 weeks of items being listed, that I already had made $174. I also want to mention the brands that are selling, because there is a little bit of consistency in brands, for me anyway, that sell. So that first month I sold 2 Kate Spade items, 2 Ray-Ban items, St. John piece, C by Chloe, so SEE by Chloe, and Stuart Weitzman. So great brands. Those brands sold that first month of September. That's where I got my 7 sales from, and I earned $174. So now in October, I had 3 sales. Now again, this is still remainder stuff from the big bulk that I sent in of items. So in October, I had 3 sales, and those sales I earned $80. So I sold a Kate Spade, a Tory Burch, and a Salvatore Ferragamo. Now these are mixtures. Most of them, well, not even most of them, I was going to say most of them are shoes, but no, it's a good mixture of shoes, skirts, jeans, dresses, jackets, sunglasses. So the only thing that I haven't sent in are purses, because I don't really find a lot of brand name purses for good prices. So in November, I sold 5 items, and they were a Daniel Meister, which was a dress that I've had forever and had no interest on at all on Poshmark or eBay, Kate Spade, Ray-Ban, and Fry Men's. So I sold 2 Kate Spade pieces. Both of them were new with tag pieces, so I do want to notate that. So I did pay up a little bit for those at Ross. And the Fry Men's boots, I purchased those at Nordstrom Rack. So if some of you follow me on Instagram and you've been following me for a while, you probably saw my little rant where I purchased these boots. And I tried to do a lot of sourcing from Nordstrom Rack online, and they ended up canceling a whole bunch of my orders, my items, and it was just a mess. But I did get these Fry boots. I actually paid about $28 for them. And I thought that I was going to be able to sell them for about $70 or so. Well, they did sell. I didn't sell them on my own. I had them for so long. So I sent them in the second time around. I sent in items to the RealReal, and they did sell there, which is great. However, I only did earn about $34 on those, so I didn't really make a whole lot of money. I am glad, though, that I made my money back. But I think that that's a big thing. A lot of people get a little discouraged by sending items into the RealReal, because the payout is very low in comparison to what the payouts would be. You know, on Mercari it's 10%, on eBay it's an average of 15%, on Poshmark it's 20%. The RealReal percentage that they charge is going to be anywhere from 40 to 60%, which is very, very high. So if you sell an item for $100 and you get the 50% payout, you're earning $50 on that item. So definitely I wouldn't do it for items that I think I'm really excited about listing and I think would sell super fast. I'll just sell them on my own. These are for items that I don't have any interest in selling. I don't want to deal with them. They're too bulky. They don't really fit maybe my closet aesthetics or my style. Or I've had them for so long and they just haven't sold. Okay, so now moving on to December, which is the current month that we're in. So far, I have $93 available in sales that I've made. I sold a pair of UGG boots, a pair of Stella McCartney Adidas tennies, and a pair of Salvatore Ferragamo shoes. So Stella McCartney, especially for Adidas, is definitely something that the RealReal loves to take and usually sells very quickly. So any of their athletic wear, the shoes, the clothing, that's definitely something I would be on the lookout for to just send in over there. Unless it's something easy enough for me. But the Stella McCartney Adidas tennies, I've had those listed for a long time. And I've not had really much interest on them at all. But I heard about the RealReal selling them very quickly, so I decided to send them in, and they sold within just a couple weeks. So all in all, I've sent in items 3 times. And the process does get faster each time, which that's very exciting. So the first time I sent was definitely the longest, and then it got better as I sent in more items. So I think, you know, you build like a trust relationship and things like that. Out of those 3 times, I've sent in a total of 40 items. Out of the 40 items, 6 items were returned back to me, not accepted. They were not not accepted due to brand or style, but rather due to condition. So the condition just wasn't up to par with what the RealReal expects and with what they are offering to their clientele. So I think that's something to note as well. Don't really send anything in with flaws. I wouldn't. I think it might just be a waste of time, waste of space. Now, if something is pre-owned, maybe has a little peeling or has a little scuffing like shoes or on the bottom, then that's fine. They have accepted items like that. Even a lot of items that I source have like a mark or line through the tag, so the size tag. They accept items like that, no problem. And then, of course, anything new with tags would be more than welcome. So not bad. Out of 40 items, they've sent 6 back to me. They do send the items back very nicely as well. They usually send them back pretty quickly, and they wrap them up. They put them in a little RealReal duster bag, and the presentation is just so beautiful that I very much appreciate the care that they show and the respect for my items, even though it's not stuff that they're accepting to make money on. Okay, so where am I at right now? Right now, my commission percentage payout is 50%, which that's a little confusing because most of the items, they only pay me 40% of the item. So I think it kind of just depends. Like there are different categories, like as far as different brands, items, and how much they price for. So if it's from a certain price to a certain price, it might be at different level tiers. But most of the items that sell for me is a 40% payout to me. Every now and then I do get a 50% payout, but I don't really know how to tell. So that is kind of one maybe downside or place that I can see where it would be a great improvement if maybe the RealReal could just clarify exactly how they delegate the commission percentage payouts. However, if I sell another $372 worth, so this is what the items would sell for, not my actual earnings, my commission payout. So another $372 worth would unlock me to start receiving up to 60% commission payout, which is the key. And I think 60% is the highest, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong about that, but that would be great to be able to start earning 60% on the items that sell. So far, I have earned $368. This is my total earnings, so what I've been paid out. Plus, I do have $93 available right now in December as long as nothing else gets returned. So that's not bad for not doing really any work. Now, all of these items I do source. I might pay up a little bit for these items, like maybe $8, $10, $15, but realistically, I can go to any store, shop, buy the items, come home, put them all out, call up my rep, or text message, email my rep and say, hey girl, I have some items here that I want to send in. Can we go ahead and schedule, virtual consignment? Because they do have to view the items to make sure that the brands and stuff are something acceptable, because again, they don't want to waste my time and they don't want to waste their time. And she will write down all of the items that I have, a description of the items. They will take a snap photo of the items so that they can send a itinerary, or what is it called when you have, I always forget what that's called. But anyway, a packaging slip of the items that will be included. Then they figure out about how many labels I will need, how many different shipments I will need. If I need a box, they will send me over a box, request a box to be sent over for me. And if I need multiple labels, then they will send multiple labels. So usually that process just takes like 24 hours. So if we have the meeting one night, then by the next morning, I will have everything that I will need. I package them up in a box and I send it off. It's out of my hands, I'm done with it. I don't have to measure, I don't have to photograph, I don't have to model, I don't have to flat lay or put on a mannequin or do any of that. I just send them off, they do all that work, and I just see the money roll in. So that is very, very nice. That's a huge aspect for me with some items, especially because I don't know a lot of luxury brands. I don't know how to sell a lot of higher end brands, and I don't really market to those customers that are willing to pay that kind of money for certain brands. So of course, yes, I can list it and just wait for the right buyer to find it, but why would I go through all that trouble when I can make a return back quickly on my items and not really do any work. So definitely to each their own. That's something that you would want to consider. But I love having that platform for all of those luxury pieces and items that either haven't sold for me or I just don't want to deal with. So overall review, 2 thumbs up for the RealReal. I've really been loving it so far. I don't have anything bad to say other than the commission payout is a little bit confusing. Now, of course, it is a little bit low, but you kind of get what you pay for, sort of thing. I'm not doing any work. They're doing everything, providing everything, ease of transaction, security for my items, and I'll pay a little bit extra to, have that ease. Alright, so that is it for this video. If you've ever sold on the RealReal before, if you are a regular or a newbie, let me know your experience down below. Please, I would love to hear you. I know everybody's experiences are different. Some may have had worse experience than me, some may have better. And then, of course, you may be able to provide some tips for me when sending in items, or if you have any questions. Again, I am fairly new to this. I've only been doing it for a few months, but I would be more than happy to answer your questions to the best of my ability in the comments below. If you're not already subscribed, definitely consider subscribing, and I will see you all next time.